What's going on, everybody? All right, once a month, what I like to do is look through some sales from the previous month to see if there's anything interesting going on, to hunt for cards that are affordable for most of us. What is selling for under $50? What sold on eBay? And last month, I also started adding in CIA auctions, and I thought it was fun to have a second option, so I'm going to do that again this month. So we're going to be looking at CIA auctions, we're going to be looking at eBay sales from the month of October and what cards sold for under $50. That might be cards we would be interested in, but more importantly, what are the trends? What is happening? Is there some change or some shift? Now, it's funny when I do this because each and every month, I don't have any expectations of what I'll see. I just simply start digging through year by year from 1950 to 1969 on eBay. What's selling? What did it sell for? Is there anything that catches my eye? And there were a couple of things, as always, that caught my eye. You will start to see something kind of pop up a few times through this episode, and then I'll kind of point it out as we go of what's the thing that stood out to me. Then at the end, again, I do 10 moonshots, 10 big time sales that also stood out to me, not necessarily because they were the most expensive sales of the month, but because they were intriguing sales. They're ones that caught my attention. And when I was doing this month, when I was looking for the 10 moonshots, the big sales, there was definitely something that caught my attention. And it's something that I really feel is important to share. I really hope that you stick with me until I'm able to show that, because there are some issues with the hobby. We know this. Nothing is perfect. The hobby is far from perfect. And just in my simple search for big time sales, interesting sales over the course of the month, something presented itself. I'm going to show that to you as well. So again, couple of things stood out. I will share that with you. Let's go ahead. Oh, wait, stop before I begin. Remember, Sunday is the deadline to submit your favorite pickup from the month of October, or just the last 30 days, month or so. Your favorite pickup to be included in the Midlife Community Show and Tell. Down below in the description is going to be a link to the Google form. Again, the deadline is Sunday. So if you haven't submitted your favorite pickup from the last month or so, do that ASAP, because Sunday is the deadline. All right, let's take a look at these sales. See if you see what I'm seeing. I definitely think there are some interesting things that happened in October. All right, first off, we've got a 1965 Topps Warren Spahn autographed. And look, Mook, he's in a Mets uniform. Look at that. And that is a gorgeous signature, awesome addition to somebody's collection. How about a 1969 Decal Edge, but this time an OPC version? That's pretty cool. Don't see those every day. That's in a PSA 2 and sold for just under $50. Next, I loved this one, a 54 picture pack that blew my mind of Roy Campanella, an SGC 5.5, $48.77 on that awesome piece. Next, a 68 Topps Joe Namath in an SGC 4. That card sold for $48. Joe Namath cards go for a lot. They still go for a lot. His rookie all the way through are not cheap cards. That one slipped through the cracks. Next, we've got a 65 Topps Joe Morgan in a PSA 4. I've seen Joe Morgan rookie cards sell for under $50 before, but this one's a really nice PSA 4. That was surprising. A 66 Topps Roberto Clemente in an SGC2. Well centered. It's a little soft, but I think the eye appeal is phenomenal. For just over $45, I think that was a great deal that somebody added. Over on CIA Auctions, a 1962 Topps Home Run Kings. You got Maris and Cepeda and a PSA 5. That seemed like a killer deal to me. I definitely wanted to include that one. How about this 69 to 70 Topps Bobby Orr in an SGC 3? Great eye appeal on this card of one of the greatest ever. This is $45.04 in the SGC 3 holder on that one. A 52 Bowman Gil Hodges. The eye appeal, the color and the centering on this SGC3 really jumped at me, which is why I picked it. $43 on that beautiful card, just a couple years into his career. How about a 55 Bowman Bob Feller? Bob Feller doesn't have a ton of cards because of just the way things fell. But this SGC3 got purchased for $40. How about this stunning, and I mean stunning, 58 Topps Stan Musial All-Star in a PSA 4 freshly graded card, just over $40. That is a gorgeous card. Gorgeous 4. Speaking of gorgeous cards, how about this beautiful Richie Ashburn 56 Topps in a PSA 5? That last Musial and this 5, the 4 and the 5, those cards are sweet. We've got a 58 Topps Sonny Jorgensen autographed rookie card in the PSA authenticated holder. $41.05 on that one. It's even got a couple of inscriptions on there. That's pretty cool. A nice addition for someone. Another autograph, this time a 69 Topps Fergie Jenkins auto. The auto grade received a 10. Well-centered card. Nice eye appeal. Love that blue pen with the blue hat and the blue sleeves. That's super cool. A 63 post-serial Ernie Banks in a PSA 5 for $38.21. Seems like a really good deal if you ask me. That's a beautiful card. I like those post-serial. They seem to be affordable for whatever reason still. How about the 59 Topps Destruction Crew with 3 studs, Doby, Minoso, and Colavito. I love this card. This SGC 5.5 for under $40. Speaking of Fergie Jenkins, how about his rookie card in an SGC 4? That sold for $37. Look at the centering and eye appeal on that gorgeous card. A Hall of Fame rookie card. What more can you say? Another beautiful PSA 4. This is a 59 Topps Warren Spahn. That's a stunning card. How is that card a 4? That is a beautiful card. Another CIA auction, this time a 58 Topps Al Kaline with the white coloring in the name. And that card also sold for under $40. That's a beautiful card, Kaline. Early in his career, too. How about the 69 Topps Brian Piccolo? Special guy, special card, well-known card for us Gale Sayers fans. From the movie Brian Song, I'm sure that most of you have seen it or heard of it. Under $37 on that. How about this stunning PSA 2 Stan Musial? A 1960 Topps PSA 2. Look at the eye appeal on that card. Under $40. That seems like a beauty to me. A 68 Cons Joe Torre, the large version of it. And this is a PSA 6. I'm a big Joe Torre guy. Sure, it's probably because I'm a Yankee fan, but he was a heck of a player in addition to being a manager and front office guy for the league. We got another Cons. This is a 61 Cons Bill Mazeroski, Hall of Famer, SGC2. Cool card here for $34.32 in the SGC2 holder. That thing pops in that holder. The 59 Topps Larry Doby in an SGC6. Look at that eye appeal. Look at that centering. That's a gorgeous card. This is the last Larry Doby card, at least in Topps, and that is a nice addition someone made. The stand-up cards, look at this. This one blows my mind for sure. The 64 Topps stand-up Orlando Cepeda SGC 5. Super cool card there. Next, a 62 Topps Pirates team card, another autograph. The Mazeroski and Vern Law autographs on it, dual autograph, PSA authenticated for $32. I mean, just to get it graded or slabbed would be $32. This 67 Topps poster lot, 45 posters for under $30. Jeff Wilson loves these 67 Topps posters. Just ask him about the Roberto Clemente one. We have a 52 Bowman Bob Lemon, another 52 Bowman that just jumped. This is a PSA 5 Hall of Famer, $27.81. How's that even possible? A common seems like that should be more than $27.81. We've got another card from the CIA auction. This is a 51 Topps Redback of Phil Rizzuto. It's a PSA 4. There's a little bit of inkage at the top right-hand corner, which gave it the MK qualifier, but for $27, that seems like a good deal. One of the most beautiful, if not the most beautiful set ever is the 53 Bowman color. This Whitey Ford in an SGC 1.5 over on CIA sold for under $28. A 66 Philadelphia Bart Starr in a PSA 4. Great eye appeal, side-to-side centering is fantastic. $25 on that freshly graded PSA 4 card. That one seems sweet. Another autograph. Had several autographs this month that came through. This was a 61 Topps Robin Roberts auto. PSA 3 card with an authentic grade for the auto. $24.50. Look at this 59 Topps Mini Minoso in a PSA 4. Again, how is that a 4? How is that card a 4? And it's only $24.25 less than the cost of grading. And it's gorgeous. One of my big takeaways. The PSA 4 is the new PSA 7. PSA 7s from years ago had great eye appeal. They were beautiful cards. I think the PSA 4 is the new 7. I think that's the place to target. How about the 1960s postcard Willie McCovey auto? Yeah, that definitely blew my mind. We have a postcard from the 1960s autographed by Willie McCovey, slabbed under $25. How is that even possible? 69 Topps decals of Tom Seaver, a PSA 6. Now, the grades on these are tough, but it's a 1969 Topps decal. Again, these cards are now less than the grading fees were. How about Hal Greer, 10-time All-Star, Hall of Famer, 61 Fleer, iconic set, PSA 2 rookie card, $21.50, great eye appeal. Now here's the 69 Topps Tom Seaver, just the regular base card in an SGC 4. For right around $20? I mean, that's a steal. I met Joe Perry when I was in 5th grade, and he was such a nice guy. This 55 Bowman Hall of Famer, Joe the Jet Perry, PSA 6, $17.64. A 49er running back, great. The 68 Topps game card of Willie Mays in an SGC 2. This card sold for $15.51. Willie Mays. And Don Nelson, one of the greatest coaches of all time, was a legendary coach for our Warriors in Northern California. The SGC 3 rookie card for like under $20. Nuts. Absolute steals this month. All right, let's look at some of the big sales. The eye-catching expensive cards. And there are definitely some interesting things that happened in this category this month. And I kind of go into a little bit of detail on one of them in particular. But as always, all of them are interesting. So first off, we've got a 64 Topps Dodgers team card. And it sold for thousands. Thousands. Because it's a PSA 10. Now, $6,000 for a card that, say that said PSA 7. Is it a $10 card? But because it says PSA 10, $5,000, $6,000, no problem. Interesting. Now, I get that it's a registry thing. I understand. But that's interesting. Over at CIA, they set a record with the 63 Fleer checklist. This is a checklist card. PSA 9 sold for $6,600, about double the all-time record for this card. Set a new record, $6,600 over at CIA. Theo and I pointed this one out when we did our recent video of the CIA auction preview. Here is a beautiful Gordie Howe Topps card, and this is from the 54 Topps set, a very iconic Gordie Howe card. An SGC 8.5, sold for $9,500. That color on that one is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'd love to have this card someday of the great Gordie Howe. Now, Pele has several rookie cards, and, soccer card collectors, myself included, each have our favorite, but a lot of people would put this as Pele's top rookie card. And this PSA 2 copy of it, it sold, a couple of them sold this month, but this PSA 2 sold for $11,600. It's a big card. It's a big Pele card. All right, how about this 1966 Topps Venezuelan Mickey Mantle in an SGC 4? Now, this is interesting. This card sold for $12,900. $12,900. Now, I understand Venezuelans are rarer, but $12,900 for this card? That seems really, really high. And then the same exact card sold through the same exact consigner 2 weeks later for $1,583. So did the card lose $11,000 in value in 2 weeks? Or was something fishy happening? Now, shilling has been in the news lately, as we all know at this point. Same exact card. Early October, $12,900. Late October, $1,000, right around $600. So, how does that make sense? How does it make sense that the same card dropped $11,000? Well, let's look at the bid history. It looks to me on the right that somebody just kept jacking up the price. And now it's encrypted of who the bidder is, but you can see based on the number of feedback that it's the same person. And then if you look on the left, 2 weeks later when the card resold, the high bidder, when it sold for $12,000 plus on the right, just a couple of weeks later was bidding on it again. The same exact bidder. Again, the usernames are encrypted, but what's not encrypted is the feedback number. So we know those are the same person. So they went back, but this time they stopped bidding about $11,000 short of where they went last time. Why would that person be bidding on it again and then suddenly drop it on somebody else? So you can see clearly here that on the right, the pink and the red bids, there was something happening when there was a jump in the price from right around $1,500 to $12,000. Only one of those bidders took place on the left, and the ones in green seemed to be more legitimate bidders. Is shilling real? Oh, it's real. Next, we've got a 54 Wilson Franks Ted Williams. This is one of the most beautiful cards of all time, and this one sold for $13,000 last month. It was listed for more, but the best offer that was accepted ended up being $13K. Beautiful card, a card I would absolutely love to have in my collection someday. Don't know if I'll be able to afford it though. How about a 55 Topps Roberto Clemente? This PSA 7 gorgeous card sold for just over $20,000. Now, I'd love to have a Clemente rookie, but even a 1 is expensive. Imagine a 7. That is a stunning example of the card. Really hard to find this card well-centered, and this one somebody paid up for. Speaking of paying up, a couple of 68 Topps 3D Roberto Clementes sold last month. This one being a PSA 8. Now, this is a high-demand card, a low-supply card, and rarely will you find one in a grade like this. This card sold for $40,000 in the PSA 8 holder. A gorgeous example of a gorgeous and special card. And this one really was interesting to me. A 1969 Topps Reggie Jackson in a PSA 9 sold for $75,000. Now, I understand that this is a tough card. I understand that it's Reggie's rookie. I understand wanting it. $75,000, but the centering. Look at the centering on that. If I'm going to pay $75,000 for a PSA 9, personally, I'm going to pick one that's better centered than that. Again, I know the 69 set is tough with centering. I don't know. Hey, it's a beautiful card. It looks pack fresh, and I understand wanting it. I'd love to have it. Don't get me wrong. But $75,000 for a card printed in 1969 that's fairly off-center is an interesting choice. At least it is to me. All right, remember, Sunday's the deadline. Submit your pickup for the Midlife Community Show and Tell. You have until Sunday.